the ridge behind.
From his backyard on the edge of Catalina, Ron Fetzer watches as the Aspen Fire heads his way, but he's not concerned.
I don't worry. Put it in the good Lord's hands. And warrior doesn't get anywhere. Be prepared and do what you got to do.
And he is prepared.
Basically, I've removed as far away as possible anti-inflammable liquids, paint cans.
The Aspen Fire is the talk of Ron's neighborhood. Drivers stop to take pictures along Oracle Road.
Because it's very fascinating to see what's happening in our backyard. And I've had phone calls from people all over the country, friends wanting to know whether we're on fire or not.
Our best advice is to remain calm.
But Golder Ranch Fire Captain John Sullivan says for now, residents have nothing to worry about.
The Forest Service, the Office of Emergency Management, and local fire agencies are all working together and communicating and developing a plan so that we can get control of this fire and also lessen the impact it has on both the land as well as properties.
Still, homeowners like Ron plan to keep a close eye on the raging fire that appears to be moving closer by the minute.
No, I'm not going to see a fire like this again, I hope, as long as I live. Never want to see one like it again.
A big name is bringing more boxing to southern Arizona. Former heavyweight champion Sugar Ray Leonard is promoting 3 fights at the Desert Diamond Casino to begin later this year. Welcome news for members of the Tucson community who have boxing in their roots, like fighter Norberto Bravo and his trainer Mike Agredano.
We got father-sons in here that are boxing together, and so it's just kind of like a family tradition out here to the Hispanic community.
You see boxing on TV as a kid, and you have that macho kind of attitude, so you go for it.
32-year-old Bravo began boxing when he was 8. The 140-pound welterweight has a professional fight in Las Vegas on Friday, and just like many times before, Agredano will be there by his side.
It's an exciting weight class, and the Hispanic community just worships these guys. They're warriors. That's all I can say.
The reason for such respect, Bravo says, is discipline involved in the sport.
Because it's a boxing gym, it's not a place to come in and just learn how to beat people up. That's not what's taught here. What's taught here is an art, and boxing is an art.
An art that is reaching out to new fighters of all kinds.
It's starting to be a big deal in all of Tucson community. You've got different kids from different walks of life. We've got honor roll students in here. We've got some challenged kids in here. We've got a lot of females in here that are here to train.
And with an expanding interest in boxing in Tucson, Bravo says local boxers are a good bet for big interest in the fights that Sugar Ray Leonard is promoting.
I know if I fight here, I'll pull a crowd because, I got a lot of my family here, a lot of friends, and a lot of people that'll come and watch. I know that, I've been fighting since I was a kid, know what I can do, and they'd like to see me.
Since April, every flick of the slots and deal of the cards at the Desert Diamond Casino has sent a little something to the state, and in turn, casino patrons like Al Buswell will get more slots.
It's entertaining, and it's activity that we can do, and we try to get pretty close to breaking even for our entertainment.
And Rick Schuster can now play blackjack.
I think people are looking for alternative ways of entertainment and everything, and the casinos just fill that need.
Voters approved Proposition 202 last fall to grant casinos on native reservations these additional privileges in exchange for a percentage of their earnings. For the agreement's 23-year lifespan, the state's annual revenue is expected to range between $90 and $100 million. But the state and the casinos say $54 million is a more realistic figure for this year. And Tohono Gaming Authority CEO Joe Calabrese says the first quarter payments, due today, are just a hint of what's to come.
Everybody had to get the machines on the floor and get the blackjack started before the money started rolling in for that.
The money will go in about 7 different directions. Each nation can select a town, city, or county to receive 12% of the earnings. Then the Department of Gaming Regulation gets 9%, Problem Gambling Assistance will get 2%, the Instructional Improvement Fund will get 56%, the Trauma Emergency Services Fund will get 28%, the Tourism Fund account will get 8%, and the Wildlife Conservation Fund will also get 8%. Patrons Al Buswell and Rick Schuster say gaming can be a new resource for Arizona.
Whether it be the lottery or casinos, gaming is here, so if the state is drawing some revenues off of that, that's better for the state.
This state and every state in the country is is in a deficit situation, and then it's a resource that prior to 202 they didn't have that resource.
Heroes walk among us, unknown until this day, when clouds of anger, doubts, and fears have darkened all our way.
Torn hearts and souls are seen as a nation bows its head. Silent tears of anguish on bloodied ground are shed.
But spirits from the ashes rise to enjoin us all as one, to join our hands together and to do what must be done.
And all those hands together that as one are joined to pray can also form a mighty fist to meet our judgment day.
For a great resolve is rising from the ashes and the dust. To right a wrong committed, the scales of God are just.
There are heroes who walk among us, and as one voice we hear their will. To tell those who have hurt us, you'll soon receive the bill.
Chainsaws and hand tools make it possible to create beautiful works of art out of the simplest of materials.
We've got about a half dozen local carvers from the Front Range that have come up, and they're creating ice art in about 10 different locations around Woodland Park today and tomorrow.
In November, some of these sculptors will compete for an opportunity to carve at the 2002 Winter Games in Salt Lake City, Utah.
I've got a moose back behind me, and I'm trying to make that into this.
Today, they're simply sharing their passion with the people of Woodland Park.
I don't have much for artistic ability, but the more I work with the ice, the more I found it's just kind of a proverbial shot in the dark. You start off thinking it's going to look like one thing, and then halfway through it turns into something else.
Some of the sculptors here have been trained by professionals. Others learned on their own. But one thing they have in common, they all love what they do.
Oh, yeah.
100 yards down that way is another stairway. It's a better act. Right off, Ron.
Okay.
Consider here, I can't go any farther. Let her drag, that's all right.
Okay, let's hold it while he's getting